I'm spending all of 2026 becoming the most organized version of myself in my home, money, and mind. And I'm taking you guys with me. What's up, y'all? Happy 2026. I am finally back, and I hope that I'm back on a regular cadence. So that way I'm basically not just showing up on your feed and then not showing up for another 2 to 3 months. I don't want to do that this year. And I think that my Most Organized You project will help me and hold me accountable for that. So we have a lot to discuss on this episode. It's going to be a little mini life update, a little bit about what the Most Organized You project is, and yeah, we're just gonna talk. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee if you want. I have my cup of coffee right here. It's on the side of my couch. Hopefully it doesn't fall. And let's chat. So I want to discuss what the Most Organized You project is about for me. It's not about perfection. It's not about aesthetics. It's just about real life. Like, it's about how you build systems to support real life for you. So for me, I'm working on both my home, my mind, and my money. Those are 3 important parts of my life right now that I've been focusing on since mid-year last year. And we'll get a little bit deeper into that, update you on that. And this year, I know that I need to focus on those 3 aspects to reach the goals that I have for this year. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, and we're gonna talk about 2026 and your mind map. I'm actually going to link the video, my short form video about the 2026 mind map. If you're new here, every year, more so at the really early stages of the year / couple weeks before in the previous year, so mid-December 2025, I sit down and I think to myself, like, what is it that I want to focus on for next year? And I don't do a vision board, which I have nothing against that. It just doesn't work for me because I'm really system oriented and like, I need to know what I need to do. But the 2026 mind map, or just a mind map in general, is basically a visual mind map, and it focuses on themes, and then within those themes, it's goals. So I start the mind map with, by the end of 2026, I want to say that, and then we break it down into themes. I always recommend doing 3 to 5 themes for the year, and then each theme is then broken down into goals, and those goals have timelines attached to them. Check the video out if you want. I will link it in the description below. It's not too late to create your 2026 mind map. I think that that will help you have a more structured and systematic and intentional year, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a great year. Despite all the craziness that's going on in the world, like, we have to focus on ourselves, and that doesn't stop. So what made me create this project? Let's go back a little bit. Let's start off with 2025. So for me personally, last year, it was sort of like the foundation year for me. I had a lot of exposure therapy moments last year, and exposure therapy moments, they're so hard to go through, but they're necessary, because for me, once I go through them, I'm so proud of myself, number one, and then also I'm like, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would have been. But anyways, last year was really the foundation year for me. I realized that my career was just not going the way that I thought it should. And long story short, it wasn't. I was transitioned into a different team. Started out as a data visualization specialist, and I was put onto a different team to do release engineering. And for my techies out there, you know that that is totally 2 separate things. They don't coexist with each other. So I started growing frustrated with the position that I was in. I tried to, move internally, and I tried everything, but I feel like it's all meant to happen. Like, everything that happens is meant to happen for a reason. And last year, I decided to quit my job in September and focus on content creation and just doing other ventures full time. So last year was the foundation year. I quit my job. That was huge. I did so many things, and I actually created like a video on my accomplishments last year. I'll also link that below if you want to go see and do something similar for yourself. But last year was a foundation year. It was a year where I realized so much about my career, about myself personally, about my strengths, about my weaknesses, and it all works out because we're now in 2026, and for my astrology people who are watching this video, if you know about your Saturn return, my Saturn return comes around February 23rd. So I'm really close to my Saturn return, and with the help of using AI, ChatGPT, to digest that for me and what tests Saturn return gave me, I was able to realize that like a lot of that I went through in 2025, and I've been able to sort of pass that test. And if you're not an astrology person, basically your Saturn return, it happens every 30 years. And during your Saturn return, which I think is like a 3.5-year period at the end of the 30-year cycle, you get tested with multiple things. It depends on your whole astrology chart. So we can go into that in another video. That's a whole topic on itself, but it has been really helpful for me and it could be helpful for you too. So that was 2025 and now we're in 2026. And just like I said, last year was the year of building momentum. And this year it's all about intention because the momentum has started. Now I need intention and grit to continue growing my foundation and building what I envision. So now it's really just about turning my mind map into reality. And that's where the Most Organized You project comes in. It's harder to build the vision that you have into your reality without structure, without intention, without organization. You have to have organization, you have to have self-discipline, you have to have intentionality. And that's why I'm starting the Most Organized You project, because I am really organized. You know me and see my short form videos, you see that my apartment is super clean, super organized, all of it. I'm an organized person, I'm type A, but there's always room to grow. Someone was like, how much more organized can you get? And I'm like, there's always room for improvement, always. So I'm going down this path this year with the Most Organized You project. It will be showing all of the ups, downs. I'm gonna be sharing some one-page PDF checklists of things that I just normally do in my head, written down on paper, so that way I can help you become the most organized version of yourself as well. As of creating this video, I have one free checklist that I could share with you. It's the starter checklist down in the description below, and I highly suggest you take a look at it. So here's a little life update for you guys. I already told you I quit my job in September of last year, and what have I been doing since then? I have been focusing on content creation. So content creation has been something I loved doing for so long. I think I started back in middle school. I have some videos, they're all private now, but I have some videos of me doing what's in my bag videos, all that stuff back in middle school when YouTube was the biggest social media platform. This was before Instagram and TikTok, but I was started back in middle school when I got my DSLR cameras and I just loved it. I got back into that part-time, maybe like 2021, I started back again and work got busy, so I kind of stopped. But I want to say I really started fully again in May of 2025. I was still working my full-time job, but I did start back, and since September of 2025, I've been doing content full-time, and it's been nice because I started really right at the prime time when brand deals are kind of popping during Q4 just because of the holiday season. So I was able to rack in on that. Now I'm continuing that. It is January, so things have just kind of reset. I feel like a lot of social media teams are reworking their 2026 vision for social media and brand deals. So that's what I'm focusing on right now, is content creation for Tyler L. Crawford. I do have other ventures that I am thinking of starting, in the early stages of starting. And once I get those going, I'll definitely share more with you. But so far, so good. It's just been a really big transition from going to full-time to content creator or just like entrepreneur lifestyle. And I'm definitely gonna have to do another video on that because there's so much that I've learned in the past 4 months just from that alone. So yeah, I have a really big goal of moving to New York. I really want to move to New York. I'm in Austin right now. My lease is over around October, so I would like to move to New York by September. And I want to move to New York and I want to have a nice apartment. And what I mean by that is I want to have a 2-bedroom apartment either in Manhattan or Williamsburg, high rise, all of it. So what I have to do from now till September is continue building my income, continue growing my income, and that's why I created this Most Organized You project, because I'm definitely gonna have to become more organized in my money. I'm pretty organized in my money. I do budget my money already. Every 2 weeks, I sit down and track all of my expenses, all of my income, and then budget for the next 2 weeks. So that's my goal, and I'm sharing it with you so that way you could see how it all unfolds. And I'm really hopeful, and I think that it will work for me. I know it will work for me. So that's my life update for you guys. I'm so excited to share what continues happening throughout the remainder of this year with you. Okay, so now let's go back to the Most Organized You, and let's discuss the core areas of this project. So the first area is home. So for me, my home is literally my favorite place to be at outside of like a coffee shop, but I love my home. It's always been like my sanctuary. When I lived at my parents' house, my room was my sanctuary. sanctuary, and now my home is my sanctuary. Right now I'm in a studio apartment. I call it my hometel studio apartment, and I've just been building my home to help me live my day-to-day life. What I mean by that is building structures to help me. Another video that I posted recently was about my daily closing shift. And what that means for me is every night I spend 10 to 15 minutes just closing my apartment up, basically putting things back where they belong, countertops are cleaned, checking my calendar for tomorrow just to see what I'm doing tomorrow, and then planning an outfit for tomorrow morning if I have something going on in the morning. And then after that, I take a shower and then I'm able to wind down. And it really just sets the mood for me, because for me, a dirty apartment, and I'm not sure about you, but a dirty apartment doesn't help me be intentional, especially the fact that I'm in my apartment 90% of the time. I work in my apartment, I sleep in my apartment, I watch TV in my apartment, I eat in my apartment. Again, I'm here a lot. So having a clean apartment where everything is where it's supposed to be in its home is really important to me. So I built that system already, my closing shift, and I just want to continue working on that system and building other systems so that way I have less friction when it comes to my home. What about you? Do you have any friction when it comes to your home? Do you notice any friction? The next core area of the most organized you is my mind. So as you know, I'm a planner. I already did my mind map, but I think that like having a clear mind and set intentions is so important to navigate your life and go after all of your dreams. At the end of the day, you can't do anything if your mind is cluttered. It's hard. You're stuck in loops and you just keep going in circles and circles, but you're not moving anywhere. You're just going in that circle. So for me, having a clear mind is super important to navigate, to make decisions, and to execute. I also implemented FaceTiming myself. And what that means is it's different than journaling. I don't write on paper when I journal. I just plop my phone on my window or on a stand, press record, and then I record myself just talking to myself and thinking things through. And that helps me clear my mind because I'm able to logically think things through, talk to myself, hear myself. Compared to when I write, it's just harder for me. There's more friction because if I write something, I have to erase it or I have to be like, wait, what did I write? So it's just easier and quicker to just talk for me. To each their own. Some people like writing more than they do talking to a camera, but definitely implementing that. I do it on a weekly basis. And then sometimes if I need to have like an emergency chat with myself, I'll just do it right then and there. When it comes to being an entrepreneur, I decided to implement a one-on-one with myself. If you're in corporate America, you know that typically you have a one-on-one with you and your boss, maybe once every week or once every 2 weeks. And I had that when I was a full-time software engineer, but now I'm not. So now I'm working for myself. So we have a one-on-one. I talk about what went well the last week. We have it on Fridays. Me and myself have it on Fridays. And basically every Friday I say, you know, what went well this week? What could have went better? What do I want to focus on for next week? And where am I at financially? It's just good to do that. It's just another FaceTime with yourself, but for the business aspect of things. For you, I do suggest you do a one-on-one with yourself. Whatever is on your mind map and whatever you're trying to work on at the moment, whether that's mental clarity, whether that's financial stability, whether that's better relationship with whoever, focus on that on your one-on-one. And that will definitely help you become the most organized version in your mind. And the last core aspect of the Most Organized You project is money. So we all have different relationships with money. I used to think of money as if I have money, I could spend it. Like that's how it works. You know, once I get money, I spend it on whatever. Sorry if I'm looking outside a lot. It's a windy day today and a bunch of leaves are just flying in the abyss. So I'm looking at them. But anyways, I was always really good at budgeting. When the first iPhone came out, I think in 2007, it was $700. And I was like, I need to get this. And I was probably, I think I was 13 or 14. And I was like, I need to get this iPhone. What am I going to do? I made a budget for my plan to get this iPhone. I was going to wash my parents' cars and then clean the house. I was just adding it all up. So ever since then, I've always made a budget, whether it was to get something expensive or when I started living on my own, I created a budget for myself so that way I could keep my finances in check. So to this day, I budget, as I told you earlier, but what I want to work on with my money for the Most Organized You project is scaling my finances. And now that I work for myself, I'm not getting a bi-weekly paycheck that's the same amount. That's the difference. So it is not stable right now, but I'm working on building different sources of income so that way I have some sort of stable income per month. So yeah, that's about it. I definitely do plan to document my journey throughout the year. It isn't too late to create your 2026 mind map. So if you feel up to it, click the link down in the description. So that way you have a free template to get you started. I use a software called Miro. You could do Miro, or you could even do it on a piece of paper. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And if you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, press the subscribe button and press the little bell icon to be notified when I post another video. I'll see y'all later. Peace.